Hello, my name is Brittany, and I will be reporting on behalf of Group 3 for this first project YouTube video of a analysis of a study relating to one of the topics in our textbook. We decided to use a topic from Chapter 2, Evolution and Behavior, and the study that we thought was relative to that is titled Perceptions of the Parent-Adolescent Relationship, a Longitudinal Investigation. This study was conducted by Matt McGew, Irene Elkins, Brent Walden, and William Iacono. To define the concept of this study, basically the researchers didn't want to ask the question, is there a change in perceptions of the adolescent with their relationship with their parents, but more so to ask the question, in what way, to what degree, and with what effect does the parent-child relationship change during adolescence. They also wanted to add to the growing longitudinal database on the parent-child relationship by looking at changes in perceptions of the adolescents about their relationship with their parents. They wanted to do more research about the underlying processes responsible for change as it relates to heritability. So how the researchers conducted this study was they took 1,200 twins who completed a parent-child relationship questionnaire at 2 points in time. First when they were 11, and then again 3 years later at 14. The analysis allowed them to address the questions of, again, to what extent does the parent-child relationship change as opposed to remain stable during the transition from pre to mid-adolescence. They also asked, does gender moderate change in the parent-child relationship over this period? And do genetic contributions to measures of the parent-child relationship increase with age? Now, to summarize again the research methods, they just asked a ton of teens, what do you feel about your parents? And then again, 3 years later, how do you feel about the findings of this study? The means for all the questionnaire scales changed significantly from 11 to 14, with declined perceptions of the quality of relationship compared to their 11-year-old ratings. The 14-year-old ratings perceived greater conflict, less involvement, and less positive regard. Now, the researchers would say that from adolescent ratings of the features of their relationships with their parents in large sample of twins, on average, perceptions of the quality of the relationship declined. Perceived deterioration was experienced greater for girls than for boys, and the findings underscore the existence of the change in parent-child relationships during adolescence and implicate genetic factors as a possible source for that change. Now, the genetic factors, the heritability of intelligence, the personality, social attitudes, religiousness, these all plays a role. They look at adolescence because it could be a good indicator of the time that these genes are expressing themselves in the environment. So the age of environmental expression is really tied in closely with puberty, and so they also suspect that maybe the changes in gender, so the fact that girls perceive higher amounts of conflict with their parents than boys, could have something to do with the fact that girls mature a little bit sooner than boys, and so this onset of the expression of these like maybe temperamental genes is evident stronger in girls than with boys. The implications of this study could be that if we could kind of acknowledge the factors that contribute to declining relationships that teens experience with their parents, then perhaps we'll be able to develop better ways of coping with children entering into adulthood, more constructive, more conducive ways of developing healthy relationships with them. So studies like this, long-term longitudinal studies like this, may give us some insight on better parenting techniques for the future.